Tim, help me.
My screen is doing its thing, so we're just gonna have to I'm gonna have to get Lucy.
It's all about listen, everyone's gonna be listening to this laughing later. They want to be educated and entertained. That's what they want, Julie. That's all this planet wants. Entertain us. Educate us as well. So what
This is the
what's
first
going on,
time
man?
actually done an interview where you're actually on our stage, which is
Yes.
and
Listen, I'm like a little I'm like a little secret weapon. You put me on your thing, it's gonna blow up. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. They're gonna be like, "What? Who is Tim and Jeremy?" Oh, you mean the quantum stud that created the Toth program that everyone's using in OpenAI? You're talking to the author right there. All right? I don't even know. People don't even know. They think it just they think it wrote itself, and it did not.
they think they wrote itself. So Rion, we've known you for a lot of years. As long as you've been in Sedona, we have known you, right?
Yes.
And obviously, today's I hope that we know that the Rion we know is uncontainable, but we're gonna try to do that today.
We're gonna try another shrimp on the ball.
To do that.
So I am here. Let's get it. I know you got some questions.
Yeah, let me open up my questions from the field and see who's got any on there outside. So we have some curated questions for you, sir.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question is, I had some analysis done on your website and you and everything. Guess who was my buddy who did that? ChatGPT.
Oh, your buddy. Oh, hey, me and Chad GBT, we go back a long ways.
So,
you know.
so one of the things that it brought up, it reminded me that your story started for you the way you talk about it was all the way back to 2009 when your eyes opened up and things happened, right? And over the years, Rion, we've done some private things together, you, Julie, myself, and we've done events we come to your events, which have always been fantastic. And you've got another one coming up, and we're going to cover the details on that in a little bit. Okay. But what I wanted to do is just tee up the core thing that we have experienced with you has been about what I term and call you lovingly is the dimensional architect.
Listen, don't blow my cover right now, you guys. I mean, come on. I had to hide, just in the shadows. Shit, not anymore. We're about to get contact. Yeah, dimensional architect. Yes, I can take that as a compliment. Yes, I am a dimensional architect. Yes.
Well, we're fuzzing out over here apparently with our green screen. So we'll see. Apparently your tech is better than our tech.
Well, it's sometimes, Tim, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Right, Judy?
Yes, exactly.
No, you're good. It's a setting. It's okay. So go ahead.
It's my lighting. I backed off the lighting so I don't get washed out. You know me. I'm so fair. I have to watch it.
He's very technical, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know this about Tim. He's a super engineer. He's very techie tech. He's involved.
Guilty as charged. Somehow I managed to get out of it and actually move over to the metaphysical world and experience the life that we are here to live. So Julie and I, obviously under quantum, we've been doing a lot of work around the matrix. And we have some questions that relate to that. And probably the first question, if the audience doesn't, ask for that one first, is what is the greatest challenge your tribe, and you have a huge tribe, what is the greatest challenge your tribe is having in bridging from 3D to 5D, or pick the D that wherever they are trying to go to? What is the biggest challenge you're experiencing with your tribe? And what do you think they want to hear from you about that?
Okay. What is the biggest one more time? Because as soon as you said that, I was like, well, it's actually my tribe is our tribe.
Yes.
The biggest thing for me specifically is whoever was in charge of this planet that let the Rockefellers get in control of the pharmaceutical industry, and the fact that 80% of the population has had most of their gifts shut off chemically. If you must know, what's really slowing us down is, and what we can work on together is detoxing these suits and bringing them back into the Christos, or that original DNA that we all come from.
Mhm.
And in this environment specifically, that's why health and wellness is so important. And that health and wellness, I think, on the planet right now is probably the most important thing. That especially mental health right now. If you ask me, what's the most important thing on Earth right now, is mental health. And we all kind of went through a little roller coaster the last 4 or 5 years to kind of come out on the other side of that, learn from that, detox that, and overcome that. Is, I think, where we're at right now. The speed of the consciousness on this planet right now, and the energy, this planet's shifting one way or the other. We are simply just, riding on this bandwidth of reality, right? So to realize that there's, you know, the the cosmos, right? The larger picture is happening regardless of anyone's personal beliefs. So I think, as my brothers and sisters need to kind of, learn sooner than than I did, obviously, is the importance of your health, your wellness, your mental state, your energy state, what you're putting in your body, what food you're putting in your mouth, and how you're really dealing with stress. I wish I had an older brother like myself to teach me when I was 19 years old on what being an empath was. When I was 19 years old, the empath word hadn't even been, I've never had ever heard of it before, for God's sakes. I never heard of a lot of things. When I made the first How to Astral Project video on YouTube on planet Earth in 2009, um, you know, I couldn't believe the reason why I made that video is because when my third eye was being activated, there was no videos or information on the internet other than buy my book, buy my CD, look into, I don't know, just there's a lot of snake oil out there. Um, I just felt like this world deserves a better and a higher level of teachers. And I think that's really what's waking up in the population right now. I feel all of us sit in a round table. There is no top or controlling faction on this planet other than my brothers and sisters, sitting in a circle. Everyone has their own discipline, and they're very diverse. That diversity gives us strengths. Our cultures give us strengths. We should not all be the same. The only thing that we should have on is our hearts. And if people really want to talk about unity consciousness and elevating their frequencies, right? Well, we kind of talked about this a little bit, Tim, with Matthew Bailey on that frequency chart. That'd be a great thing to discuss on this as well, if you
Yep.
still have that is really getting the population out of the lower dimensions or the lower frequencies of thought or creation. If everyone was manifesting peace on earth right now, we would have peace on earth right now. What we're dealing with is a shadow function of reality, which wants us to stay in separations, because we're easier to be controlled.
Sure.
I even think the financial system changing right now, if you must know. At the very tippity top of this financial system, you have groups of people that are just printing money out of thin air in this fiat system. We're competing against organizations that have been printing money since 1913, that have no vested interest in humanity other than to control it, rule it, and basically have bend it to its will. So, if I guess what you can say in a coming full 360, Tim, is that the issues that we're all facing are diverse, but I can tell you this, the population's waking up. And a lot of us, I feel this way. You can fool us once, shame on me, right? Or shame or shame on you, I should say.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me. I think the entire population's over this narrative that's being force fed to us through mass media.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up because obviously the awakening is and you have known us, you've known us for a while in Sedona as your
You guys are fire. I love you. I love you guys. I don't. And by the way, Tim, you opened the hammer. Julie, you saw that question he asked, right? You knew it was coming. You knew that I wasn't going to give
Yeah,
you some bursts.
yeah,
Yeah, she was like, "Oh shit, he said it." I'm like, "I'll come right." I'll come right through this screen at those jackasses responsible for this shit.
In all honesty, that is, I was her question. I jacked it. So she's she's got more for you. Let's go, Jerk.
Okay. Let's hit it.
No.
Okay. I love everyone, by the way. I can't lie to you either. So, all right.
Well, in order to transcend what we're going through, you do have to be in that space, no matter how dark they are, right? And so that is, I think, one of the hardest concepts right now people are having to embrace is how do we love everyone, even while they're mind controlling and everything else is a bit of a challenge. And you can add some perspective on that. So let's go into right now. I suspect we have a lot of new people on this channel today.
Yeah.
We'll be listening to the replays. So let's go back to that person who's just coming into this experience, and you're talking about bridges and all that stuff. What is that? These we'll call them initiates, these first timers. They are having the standard symptoms. They're overwhelmed. They're in anxiety. They don't know why they don't feel like they're in the right place. And then all of a sudden, this reel pops in their awareness. What do you tell them about? We're on this journey. We're on the bridge over into higher consciousness, awareness, whatever the best languaging for them to understand it and receive that. And yeah, I mean, let's start with that to get
Okay.
the beginning. Beginning that path,
I love you guys. You realize these questions are like layered eight layers, right? This is the 7-layer burrito from Taco Bell. They're just like, this is the wrapper, and then there's 7 layers to this. Okay, so let's unpack this layer by layer, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, layer by layer. First and foremost, you must learn to love yourself. Okay. Without loving yourself, you don't really even know what love is. You can feel the love from your mother when you're younger. As you grow up and you build confidence in yourself, and as you do, even like winning the winning goal on your soccer team when you were 9 years old, that moment was canon in your life for a moment where you won the game, you did the thing. More experiences like that are necessary for the earth. When people are robbed of these positive experiences on earth, what happens is you start to have like a negative outlook on everything. Okay. And we all have friends like this, right? So, first level, I would say is love and respect for your vessel, already, love and respect for yourself, and obviously love and respect for our creator. So, that takes time. I mean, these words are easy to say, but you guys, Tim and Julie, as adults, you guys dang well know how difficult some of those things or concepts can be, right? There's some of the most beautiful people on earth that if you talk to them in their changing room after they were like in a modeling show, they have complete body dysmorphia. You're like, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, you're like, the guy's like, I'm Shred City. He's got 8-pack. He looks like Conan the Barbarian. And he's backstage like old Schwarzenegger, and I looking in the mirror like, it's not right. My pump is not what it could be. So it's all in your head is what I'm trying to let you guys know, ladies and gentlemen. These concepts are in your head of what you perceive as to be you and in this reality. So first, find love for yourself. If you guys want to know what that feels like, think about how your little dog looks at you when you're about to go outside for a walk. There's nothing but love coming through those eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone has reflections of God around them. So it's important to kind of feel what that is and be about that. For me, the inner child, how do I get through it? How do I do it? I got to stay in my heart, and I got to stay in my inner child. For me, the divine masculine, yes, comes later. For me, what I had to learn, is divine masculine, divine feminine. There's a lot of people out there trying to figure that out. Okay. The last thing you want to do on this planet is say you're the divine masculine and you can't control your sacral. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not a divine masculine if you can't control your sacral chakra. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I did to kind of work on that as I grew up is just stay in my inner child, stay in that 9-year-old version of myself that lives in my heart. My inner child doesn't need girls or money or any of this stuff. He just wants to go surfing with sea turtles. He wants to watch anime, on TV. He wants to eat a piece of some food and just relax. He doesn't need any of this shit. So I think that literally your heart feels the same way, in the sense that a lot of this place is distraction, and it takes you away from that pure innocence that we actually truly exude. Like if we were in the angelic realm, zooming in on Earth, you could see your fellow brothers and sisters who are angelic, right? Walking around on the Earth. Now, if they're aware of that or not is up to their themselves consciously, but our energy signatures give us away every time. That's
Yeah. And there's a lot of us right now walking around in the dude that came from all kinds of different places in this cosmos. And I think that's one of the biggest awakenings right now is that soul that is remembering. It's so important right now for us to remember where we came from, who we are on the inside. Some of the stuff that we really focus on is tapping in, getting into we use innocence, right? Getting in that inner child, getting in an innocence, getting into that really deep space of just knowing who you are and a deep meaning. Right. And then once you get into that, this is my truth, this is my voice, and it comes from inside instead of the outside, like you just referenced, all this the mind
yeah.
control right now, it's just unbelievable. So everybody give yourself a
It's
little
and I don't know the stuff that I mean, guys, there's videos of these guys. Tim can show you on a later video. These guys talked about this stuff 5, 6 years ago when head of Meta, Facebook, and all these guys were sitting in a room saying that, yeah, we can use frequency to manipulate the population and govern them or drive them towards certain outcomes. They have the technology. No one wants to talk about it. They've been doing it for 5 years.
Yep.
Do you really think Brandon won the election? Do you?
Yeah, actually, the
How many countries is there another version of Brandon as their leader? So I'm just trying to say, like, what we saw, you know. So
yes, in
that
the U.S.
technology is real, you
Oh,
know.
yeah, certainly in the U.S., the last 3 elections we know has been jacked from a deep fake perspective and all that. But we won't go down the conspiracy.
Man, Tim, don't you open that door right now. I'm staying in the heart with Julie. I don't know what you're doing.
So, if I can add to that, so we have experienced some things. I want to maybe get your perspective on that. As you know, we've been doing the Decoded series, and we actually came on stage with you, and we talked about, the Matrix. Yes, it's part of our teaching under quantum. We're doing a lot of heart-centered stuff and moving between quantum and alchemic stuff. But we discovered a lot of the people who are engaging with us are really gravitating to struggling with the Matrix
And the
and
curiosity
on the curiosity around it. And there's a lot of dark stuff, there's light stuff. So part of our aha moment was people are still grappling with this. They don't, and there's a lot of language around exiting the matrix, leaving the matrix. So you brought something up in your opening comment about the Christos. And are you familiar with Ashiana Dean's work? And
Yes, I have. You know, funny enough, I remember during COVID that the Corona name Corona was an island on the outside, like in the Antarctica on the chain. It's actually on the map called Corona. And she was the one, someone pulled that up out of one of her dossiers and said, she talked about that, gosh, man, 10, 15 years ago. And I basically, funny enough, I bought the manual, the full PDF printout version.
blow your
And it's I downloaded it at first and it was on my phone, but it's like it allows you to download it twice. So I'm like, I never really download it. I just open it and I'd read what I wanted to read and I close it. So after 2 times, it locked me out. And I'm like, I didn't realize the person I was emailing was her. She sent me she sent me her book to my house. And I was like, yo, bro, I was like, appreciate you. It's like an old school college binder too. It's like her book, but it looks like a college binder. So
yeah.
her work is fire, and I think that, I can say this too, because a lot of people are gonna take what I say, seriously. So I'm gonna say this about her work. Many very gifted people on this planet are bright, shining stars for quite some time, and then they cause so much of a stir, or they are shine so brightly, or they're sharing so much information so quickly to the population that it causes a lot of attention. And sometimes negative energies or aspects get a hold of that person and they kind of go cuckoo cuckoo. Okay. So what I can say for a lot of people out there, it's not just Asanya Dean, because I heard like she kind of went off the rails. So what I'm trying to say is like when she was in her prime,
Yep.
dude, she was hot fire. So a lot of these people that are gonna be watching this show, there's like 20-year-old kids. they're gonna Google her and go, "What? This is the person he's talking about?" I'm like, "Nah, dude. 20 years ago, she was hot fire, not the version you're seeing now." But so I just wanted to be that clear. There's a lot of people in these fields that were absolutely right on the money when they came out. But like I said, a lot of energies try to slow those people down, and it happens all the time. So
Well, we've experienced that in the work that Julie's doing on Wisdom Spear Ranch, and the number of interferences, if I can say, both cosmic as well as three-dimensional with three-letter acronyms in the federal government
yeah.
that have been on our site and done some disruptions. And those, this because we've talked directly. One of those was an event where I was attacked, with weapons that were
Mhm.
targeted towards the weaknesses in my body, right?
Yep.
And so this happens. This is very real. What you're saying is happening.
Yep.
Fortunately, I bounced back. I came back, but that's not about me. The question I wanted to set up was knowing the original works of Ashiana Dean, and maybe I'm not pronouncing her first name correctly.
I don't even think she pronounces it right on this stuff. I don't even know. Ashanya. It sounds sexy though.
So the thing that you've taught from the very beginning that we've known you has been around following your streams, okay, going up the right and the left stream and going up the dimensional layers, and the work that you do we know goes really high. We won't talk about where you land and where your landing zone is, but as people find their hierarchy, there's a construct that that was put together by in that chart that you talked about with Asiana, is every set of three densities every set of three dimensions is a density. So the first three, 1, 2, 3. So we're in the third dimension. So then that's a set. So every set of three, so 3, 6, 9, and then you go into the 12. As you go into those, people go, "Oh, I'm going to exit the matrix. I'm going to 5D."
Mm.
And you get there and you go, "What the fuck?"
You're still inside. You're still inside the game.
Matrix. You're not just one level in. You're like,
No. This whole thing there's many layers to this dimensional game, and then there are also beings that sit outside the game that reach into the game and make adjustments. I mean, imagine beings that are so large that they actually sit outside the game and they reach into the game and make adjustments. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So you
We're having some
please. I was just
phenomenal experiences right now because we're getting into the contract clearing. So we go through 3 levels. We get rid of the first level junk, the coding and that kind of stuff. And then we go into contract clearing up to like 5D with people. And what I've seen transition this year is that those entities, that level up to that 5D range, they like have their bags packed already and they're like ready to get off planet. They're getting the messages. They have this opportunity when we go in and do that clearing, right? They get the opportunity. Hey, this is a free shuttle for you to go home. And they kind of hop on board and away they go. Now we're going into much higher dimensions, and it has been fascinating. I think we're doing almost as much soul retrieval right now as we're doing contract clearing because these beings at that high level that you're talking about, they went and snatched some of us and they stuck us. I mean, I've gone out of our universe into the cosmos. I have no idea. I'm just like, I know we're in the cosmos, retrieving these aspects, bringing them back, and then the contract can actually be dissolved.
yes.
So there are so many layers right now that we are now being able to see through that we couldn't even see 12 months ago. So it's sending, it's getting easier to access for those who are practicing in that arena. But for you to know that as somebody watching, is you maybe have some of your layers may be getting kind of activated to even this discussion, and there's beings that are ready to leave. So this is another path of conversation. When we're talking about these densities, don't give up hope. Know that there is a plan, that creator is on it. The cosmos is on it. These highlight beings are on it. And there are pathways right now that we're seeing, gateways and openings for these beings to get out of here and move on.
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's been fascinating. And there's still shit out there.
Well, but I want to caution. But one part of my observation is the caution. There's a sense of I want to escape this planet and I just want to go and And I just want to, and unfortunately, there's also a misunderstanding that you're in a nested. It's like the movie Inception, right? You're actually in a layer inside a layer inside. Up to 3 layers that we've been able to track until you get to about 11.5D, 12D. You're still playing inside the rules of the nested 3 sets of matrices.
Yes.
And those are all controlled by the forces. He who shall not be named.
Right.
So, but let's name them. There's the archons. It's to start with, right? I mean,
Right. Well, so this is how I kind of broke this down. So when I was doing the dimensional grid work on the planet, third eye came on at '09, trained '09, 2010. When I finally moved out here to Sedona, trained for 2 years, and then obviously had to go to be in Giza. I did China, Giza, a bunch of other locations across the planet. The one thing I noticed was I figured out the hierarchy of this planet. I figured out on the dimensional scale, basically who some of these lower dimensional beings' bosses were. As soon as I found out that a dragon sits higher, or a draconian royal sits higher than an Anunnaki, and that an Anunnaki sits higher than a Syrian, and a Syrian sits higher than on the night side, mind you. You have to see the template to understand what I'm saying. What I'm starting to realize is I realize that these dimensional levels of game, let's just say, these beings do have higher selves. There is nothing random. Even though you might see a little lower dimensional demon doing stupid shit, I can promise you that being still has a higher self. Or in some way, maybe a large lower self. I'm not, I don't know. Might be going downstairs instead of up, right? So once I realized the hierarchy, the thing about the archons, okay, well, oh God, synthetic AI babysitters and just decrepit, parasitic, I'm not really sure what name. I mean, I much rather deal with a real demon that actually potentially has a soul in it than a weird nerd AI, archonic energy that is like a flock of mosquitoes. You know what I mean? Like, I rather deal with something that lives by the same rules that I have to, good or bad.
Right.
If you're doing negative stuff in this life, okay, 3 more lives downstairs, you eventually get an incarnation where you fix your shit and grow up and be an adult spiritually.
Right.
Some of it's archonic energy, though. It is almost like it's almost like talking to a parasite that's in your intestines that makes you addicted to sugar. You're dealing with something that doesn't give a shit about you. It's utilizing you like a host. It's existing through your light. See, and when you start talking about that type of stuff, yo, man, I'm just like, somebody get some antibiotics and some really high frequency light on this planet and let it rip. Because, I mean, we're all tired of being fed off of. We're all tired of these distortions, and we're all tired of whoever put these characters in this game need to come and pick them up and remove them themselves, not rely on us to do all the heavy lifting for you.
Right.
And that goes right up everyone's totem pole. And that goes right back into history from here, back 25,000 years. Come pick up your old tech that is still causing chaos on the surface of Earth. It's not our job to clean up past war and past interstellar races, leaving shit on the surface and then thinking that this level of consciousness is going to be able to handle it, deal with it, or clean it up. It's absolutely ridiculous. Just needed to say that out loud to be recorded in the Akashic records. We are completely aware of what's running around down here on this planet. So
Absolutely.
no one's confused. So
Yep. I wanted to feed up a little something you said there about, these higher selves of the higher selves. And we are seeing that a lot again when we if you go back to, fearing from the 5D down and that stuff. Don't be fooled if you are, engaging with some of these beings, the ones who have their suitcases packed because they have sovereignty right now that they can choose something else.
right.
There is always a higher lord, a higher demon, whatever you want to call them, of the dark side.
The puppet master has a puppet
Really
master.
holding the contract, and they have all these puppets below it.
Right.
There is quite the hierarchy in that as well. And most people
Well, fractality, right? You got fractality. So you could have one jackass that's actually controlling, 10, 20, 100,000 smaller dimensional fractals running around in a game, causing chaos.
Yep, that is.
Yeah, and the work we've done, Rion, is it's fascinating to watch it. We'll go into the dimensional councils to do
Yeah,
it for all our clients, and then we ask for all ask for all the contracts and the stuff to be put on the table that we can burn it, right? But as we go through this process, we see that somebody gets thrown on the table as they burn this one, and you find out that he's not the controller. The controller is 2 levels.
Oh, keep going up.
You,
You got to go through the food chain, man.
hang out the food chain. But I wanted to bring this back home a little bit because there's a lot of these concepts. People, they understand the matrix. They know, hopefully, by listening to what we're doing and also the stuff you're doing, it's not just one layer, it's multiple layers. But the key thing we have discovered is people want to exit the matrix. That's great to know what the matrix is.
Right.
But to exit the matrix, some of them think that death is going to do that or something else. No, you're just going to recycle, come back if you haven't cleaned your shit, right? And at the end of the day, what we teach, and I wanted to do a vibrational check with you on this one. We have found that the inner matrix trumps the outer matrix.
Yes.
So anything that you are holding and you wanting a do it for you service from the outside looking in, do that work to clean this shit up for you. Come in there and have, ET show up from, whatever galaxy and come on this planet and help us clean up our land and our whatever. And when it comes down to making it personal, cleaning up there's your matrix reality and that we're stuck in, it only starts when you embrace the truth within and embrace the inner job. The inner job totally trumps the outer matrix, no matter, even if you're inside the construct. Right? You have the ability to see it from another level. What's your thoughts on that?
When you become self-aware and obviously, having some of your different chakras or gifts, your third eye, your throat chakra. So third eye comes on, you can see. There's about 3 or 4 different layers to the third eye coming on. We can talk about as well. Throat chakra turns on, you can hear your higher selves. Your energy hands turn on, you can feel energy, you can move energy, you can help heal people. Your heart, obviously, a lot of people have their hearts on. You're highly empathic. You can't hide from anyone who has their heart on because it's such a strong wave that comes off your chest that it pings almost like sonar off of everything. Someone with their heart fully on is like a walking fusion engine on Earth. So people kind of, they always go, "Oh, you love me," or Care Bear stare. I'm like, "Nah, dude, your heart's like Iron Man. That thing's really cranking. It has so much frequency that can come through. It literally can vibrate the reality around you." So, especially when you're dealing with your oversoul, a lot of people's higher selves are waiting to braid with them until the frequency of the vessel comes up. Because if you're in too dense of an area or a frequency, they can't braid down your telomeres to actually connect to you because you're too dense. The frequency is too low. What does that feel like? Okay, let's do it for everyone on Earth. What does it feel like for an angelic trying to touch a human being on Earth if the frequency is too low? Well, imagine that human is inside in the Arctic Circle, and he's sitting in ice water, and he's floating there with a pair of Speedos on. And as you, as an angelic, would have to jump in that ice water with them, and every single second you're in that ice water, your body's in shock. That's what it feels like. It's not casual at all to drop this dense in frequency. Arcturians will not drop below 5D. There are many powerful beings in the universe. They will not drop below 5th density. They go, absolutely not. It's way too much compression. Okay. Now, if you want to say really, 4D is kind of like the shadow of 5D, let's just say, and say 3D underneath it. And that trifecta is the physical, which holds both polarities. My thing is that when you raise your frequency, now it's like that angelic's getting in the water with you and it's 72 degrees. And you're like, "Hey, bro, you good?" You're like, "This is awesome. I love it. Well, where are we going today?" So what I'm trying to say is that there is an actual component to this that people need to feel that it's actually palpable for some of these free. Another thing too, the government's known this for a very long time, and high-level church people. I've seen videos on this and content on this. When a very high frequency being steps forth in a church or heals somebody or comes through, the energy coming off of them is so high frequency, it can like literally stop your heart. I'm talking about something that's vibrating so fast, it could actually damage your suit. I've been in conversations with some of my angelics. Hey man, why can't you come down here? They go, dude, our voltage is so high you get barbecued. I was like, really? They're like, yeah, bro. You guys are like moving at like 1 mile an hour. So yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, I've had my one time I had my highest light get about as close to me as he could, and I was doing this breath work, and I was, I started to vibrate and oscillate. This is like in the very beginning when my power started turning back on, and I was pushing my suit to see what this thing could actually do because I didn't know. I was doing things like running down mountains. When you run down a mountain, the closest I got to levitation was the ground starts to feel like jello. When I run at full speed, I felt the rocks under my feet start feeling like jello, which is how it feels in the fourth density or fourth dimension. I felt it under my feet. I had to put myself in life and death situations multiple times to actually have my higher selves jump in the suit and show me what that feels like, to actually have that real power, or that, I don't know if it's a belief system. It's just kind of like a older version of myself jumps in the suit that's done it 100,000 times. Not this version that was born, in the 80s, right? I don't want to date myself. Back in the 80s, the towhead generation, right? So yeah, I mean, this is all stuff that comes with experience. I mean, any person that's in this sort of realm and is going to share or teach people things, they need to first share, how they learned it. This is not, especially spiritual warfare. Julie and Tim can attest to this because I know personally, this ain't shit you can read in a book. You gotta feel this. You gotta know what energy is. You gotta be able to scan a room. You have to engage to really be, to actually know what you're doing down here. And I think for us, and especially the younger generations that are going to watch this video in the future, is to realize that, these older generations showed up to kind of clear the way for you so that you didn't have such a dense and difficult time doing your job and becoming that light for this planet. And I think a lot of us indigos, we carry the sword and the shield, right? So your shield's in your left, right? Your receiving side, and your sword's in your right, your sending side. So it's important to kind of realize that your soul chose this mission for a very specific reason. And God or our creator would never give us a mission that we could not accomplish. So I'm just trying to say, trust the path. I mean, every single time I fight this, believe me, I am a sarcastic little jackass. Okay. Full stop. I've had councils shut down upstairs by some of my one-liner comments. Okay. Showing up, trying to apologize. Then if I get really upset, I got being show up and go, please don't take this personal. Please don't take this personal. Please. I said, I'm going to memorize your faces. I'm going to come up on ship. I'm going to find you. And they're like, no, 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 no. This is a video game. Calm down. Like I get the opposite. I'm so real down here. I get worked up. They go, hey, you're in a hologram. Calm down. I go, oh, I'm in this video game. They're like, yeah. Hey, we won't do that again. I'm sorry. So what I'm trying to say is, people talk about waking up. What happens when you're on the other side of this thing? You're so awake. They're telling you, hey, don't take this game personally. Observe, be nice. Don't put all these guys in black bag specials and throw them on a shuttle. Because a lot of us that have been down here for quite some time, I'm tired of watching someone else's experiment. And some of these experiments from some of these hybrids or some of these, let's just call it transhumanism things, or whatever they got, synthetic clone things, whatever they've been doing down here for 80 years, hiding it from the public in these underground military bases. What I'm trying to say is the experiment's up. You had your shot. You did your dance. Now knock it off and step out of the way. We don't need to participate with you in this level of game anymore. And I think that there's a lot of free will violations on this planet. And I think there's so many free will violations on this planet that some of these beings, their bloodlines and the little puppeteers doing weird shit, a lot of these guys are going to find themselves in a place with restricted access to a level that some of them will never even be allowed back in the system of Sol. Our solar system, there's people that are getting bounced out of our solar system. So think about that. Like being a naughty person, you're not even allowed to come back into the solar system where you were inhabiting one of the planets. So that's the type of stuff that Julie's talking about too in the beginning. These people are getting bounced out of our immediate area. And I mean, our local group, which means from our solar system all the way to the Pleiades, every single star you can see in the night sky, right? Local group. So I know we're in a hologram. I know it's a hard light hologram. Okay, everybody calm down. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. But what I'm trying to say in this dimensional space, um, the frequency is changing in a way that it's really a change of the guard is taking place. And when you do a change of the guard every, say, 2,000 years, you have to realize that the certain lesson plans and time allotted for some of these things to take place has now finished. Some of us only show up at the end of these tales or these lesson plans to wrap things up and start the new age, hence the golden age that we're walking into. I never would have incarnated down here for a normal 3 to 5D ascension. Absolutely not. I have other things in the universe I'd like to be doing. I don't know if you know, like, listen to the words in my eyes coming out of me. I'm a very important dude off world, and so is Tim and Julie and some of us that came down here. We did this to be of service. I didn't incarnate here to watch people eat Snickers bars and watch commercials. I have other shit I like to do in the universe. So I just like to say that out loud for everyone that it's called common sense. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So there it is.
That's a not so common sense.
Yeah, when you hear this voice coming through, you don't know where it comes from, and then you hear this. I didn't come down here for this shit. Let's get going.
Yeah, it's like, hey, see ya. Have a good one. You know, back to the backside of Beetlegeist with you. I don't know. I'm just some of these guys. They just took advantage of the population, dude, to a degree that they actually called in some big, gnarly dudes from that usually do not get involved in kindergarten games. I try to tell people the last 15 years, oh my God, please be on your best behavior. I have seen things outside of this planet, and I have seen things reflect off this planet these beings cannot even fathom. And I'm just trying to say for everyone out there, you know, your soul deserves to be happy, free, and in love. And I think that's really why we're all here is to share experiences with one another. But I can promise you this, there is no place to hide on this planet. There is no place to hide in this solar system. We're all fractals of one another. We're all connected. It's a unity conscious thing at 6th density and up. So I would just like it if people stopped creating more collateral damage for other beings in future generations to have to incarnate to clean up. We're cleaning up the Lemurian Atlantean timeline right now. In Tartaria, they tried to do it. It failed again. We're back here to clean this shit up. But this time, this is a wrap because we showed up, you know, guns blaring, hearts on, ready to rip. The collective needs to catch up, or those beings need to be held accountable for exactly what's going on here. Enough with the civilian Earth mammalian stories. They need to know about the galactic war that's been going on in this space for quite some time and the 3 interstellar species that are fighting over control of this planet. And they need to start realizing what's really going on here because these baby narratives aren't doing it for us anymore. The narrative's dead. It's not logically makes no sense. So they need to start telling people the truth of what this place really is and what's going on here. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, really love that. You know, that you touched on free will for a moment there, and that always triggers me. We've been it's like nobody here has fucking free will. So for free will, and I keep getting shown, you know, what's happened, you know, how it happens so easily that people give up their free will. They're in a traumatic situation. Some being comes in, you know, and unconscious and goes, hey, baby, I can help you out of that situation, and maybe they do, but they are now contracted, right? And this is free will just went out the window. But when you look at the depth of it, I mean, the layers and layers of people who've been compromised through this system of giving up your free will unconsciously, unknowingly, not in your soul agreements, right? This is all shit outside of that. It is deep and dark, and that's stuff that's thank you for bringing up. It's really coming to light right now. And that if those contracts were done unconsciously, when you bring them into a council, the council is just like, dude, out. I mean, there's no
No, they throw it out. It's just like whenever you go into court, it's just dismissed. Get this out of here. Dismissed. It's not valid in the court.
You just have to know to ask for it, guys. You need to ask for you to be released from that crap because it's not yours and it is infringing on your free will. And they're going to keep telling you you're making the decision. No, you're not. Yeah, there's some dude on your back that's whispering in your ear.
That everyone's trying to. I like to say that some of our higher selves on the night side we carry around like balloon animals. You know, they're just floating there, just hungry all the time for, some of that beautiful creator, juice that some of us carry. And I get it. We're addicting. We're addictive. I mean, our light is addicting. And I get that. But at the same time, too, I also have to kind of think about, just in the same way some of us, how we were raised. And then, at some point, you guys, every human being's got to wake up to a point where you see your mom and dad as, you know, almost like friends that did the best they could to raise you. You know what I mean? At some point you grow up and you're like, you're not my mommy and my daddy. Okay. I love you. You guys did the best job you could. Okay. I get it.
Yep.
And then you keep growing, you keep evolving, you keep asking questions. You kind of get to this like sentient ability, right? Within yourself. It's almost like you hit critical mass and you start processing the universe, not just this reality, but the multiverse in general. And eventually you start seeing things differently. And what I like to say is when I started processing things differently, I started to say, okay, so these are some of the problems on Earth. What can we do to fix them? And what I like to say for everyone out there is this is how you ask some of these controlling factions to facilitate the job that they're not doing. I'll say, hey, it was my fault that that there's plastics in the ocean. Okay. Or, hey, it's I can do a better job at helping the environment or helping people eat better or doing this. But for that, me taking responsibility for that, give me the car keys. You now have no power over this whatsoever. Give me your power. Give it to me. I can fix it. I'll take responsibility for it. Hand over your power. You are no longer at the council. You are no longer attached to the bank accounts. You are no longer go retire somewhere and let this generation take over. Thanks so much. That's what people are missing. It's the step out of the way, hand over what you could not do, and let us do our job. And I think that's very important. That's that last step that people they kind of negate. They don't think about. It's if we're going to show up here and fix these problems, then hand us the resources to do just that. You know what I mean? All these guys that are pretending to be of service, that are truly service to self, they got to go. And we're seeing these people pop out of the matrix and the mainstream narratives, all of these stories. And look at the political structure right now in the United States and how many people are having their houses raided for doing illegal shit. Every single day, there's a new politician or guy their house is being raided. Good. This stuff needs to come to light, right? So,
Right.
Yeah, the light going on. Yep. Hey, let's go a little bit into
Tim, sorry. I'm like, hand me the keys.
Yeah.
Kim's like, whoa. Don't do that again. I'm like, give me the keys. I'll drive. You guys are having a problem, it seems. So let me drive. I'll be fantastic. I promise this time. Okay.
Yep.
Now, listen, we're all growing up together, and it's not about the power. What I'm trying to say is the power to change for the better. The power to do better. That's what I meant. Okay. I just wanted to be real. Some people out there are like, power. I always knew it. I'm like, no, to make the place paradise.
Power. You brought this up at the beginning of our conversation about, obviously holding the vibration of love, right? And the conversation you and I had when we were at your place a month or so ago with Matthew, the conversation was about, basically love. But love is not the highest vibration. It is
higher.
There's higher. People think that, that being in your love vibration, I actually was immediately blurted out, oh yeah, it's love. And then I had to go, oh yeah, you're right. It's not, because authenticity, which is almost up there as enlightenment, right? So it's like you cannot get to those levels unless you have authenticity. And so above love is joy, peace, and enlightenment.
Yep.
Right. And this is the work that has been documented for years. Well, there's frequency numbers and vibration numbers. Who knows how people track that? But there is absolutely a level of authenticity that goes in. And so this goes back sort of full circle. You're not authentic with yourself if you cannot be truthful for your existence on planet Earth and holding, and like you said, give me the effing keys. I'm gonna own it, right? And own it. Right. And
what do you think a steward is? We're supposed to be stewards of this planet. What about the animals, the trees, the fauna, the oceans? We're supposed to be managing this, not taking advantage of it. So,
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this owning it is it's a combination, right? There's a saying that we love to use, and this is our private channel. We can say this. It's like you be unfuckwithable. Okay.
Fuckable.
And,
Unfuckable.
unfuckable. And that makes you unfuckable.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't. I'm not saying that in a sexual connotation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying that in an energy.
Nope.
Like,
You don't mess with
I'm
me. You joke.
joking. We know that.
Well, yeah,
It's funny.
so when you own it, that also means you take accountability for you.
Be very fudgeable, but unfuckable.
yeah, sovereignty. Sovereignty is huge, and you bring up this subject, right?
Integrity, sovereignty, treat all you have to remember for everyone out there. They said it back in the day. Yeshua said this: treat all beings with respect in the same manner you would like to be treated. The golden rule. You treat every single human how you'd like to be treated. No matter if you go from here to whatever country in the planet, you treat people how you'd like to be treated with respect and dignity. They're going to show that reflection back. So that's what I'd like to say about that. So
Here's one from Linda.
you need a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Linda.
Hey, Tim, if you make that shirt, I'll wear it. Just as I will wear that shirt.
That'd be
Fuckable.
perfect at Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We might
bring
get that on Dallas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Bridge Expo now. We're about 50. Yeah, I was talking about that.
Yeah. I want to ask you all these topics that we're talking about. I'm listening to this, and I'm like, man, I want to go check this out. I want to check this out. What are they going to take away from going to the bridge in Dallas? What is
Okay, so
that?
okay, so we're jumping timelines. Is really kind of like the big secret. I'm taking whoever comes with you, us and the people there, my friends and family, and what we're doing. I'm going to introduce you guys to a different group of people that are also here to assist, a different group of people that may not be in the same esoteric groups as you, but this group of people also is for humanity and peace, prosperity, and sovereignty. And I'm going to introduce you guys to these different groups of people. And a lot of them have the same, their hearts are on and the same integrity as you do. Just because someone is heart first and heart based, the thing about we've all been running uphill for quite some time is that it's very difficult for the right people to be in charge or the right people to have the resources necessary to stand against the nothingness or the darkness, right? It's a lot more difficult than you think. Okay, we've watched that. Let's look at Mr. T and what he's had to go against. They raided his house in Mar-a-Lago. I mean, to think about that, some FBI agent was in your bedroom going through your wife's panty drawer. It changes things. You know what I mean? Someone was in there. No, just kidding. Well, I'm kidding. But what I'm trying to tell you is dealing with this negative shit is real. So what I'm trying to do at the bridge, I don't know why I thought that was funny. I'd be so pissed if I was Trump. I'm like, oh, you're going to get it. All those guys responsible for this negative shit should go to jail, by the way. But for the Bridge Expo, there's something that we were asked to create to not only awaken us, and basically we're going in there as the lights, ladies and gentlemen. Some of us who are teachers, Tim and Julie, our Sedona family, we're going in there as a united front to illuminate some of the light necessary to really move that energy through Dallas. 2026 begins in the United States. Texas is going to have their very own stock exchange for this first time in the history of the United States. Opens in 2026. There's a lot of people that are unconscious. There's a lot of darkness that's hiding in that city, and we're about to show up and show you what the light looks like. So if you really must know, wait till our higher selves enter that airspace. We're just the vessels on the ground. Wait till you actually see who's on this planet that lives in these isolated areas and we keep to ourselves. Wait till we're all together in one unified place. You're going to feel all of us very strongly. So what is the bridge about? Bridging the higher dimensions to the physical, letting kind of putting the world or the public on notice that there is higher echelon of energies that is here right now on this planet, monitoring this game. Nothing is random. Everything is known and everything is recorded. There are no secrets at all. My thing is that it's time for a lot of the population to wake up to that higher being, that higher frequency aspect of creation, come together and change the world for the better. Enough hiding in your unconsciousness. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like the time for unconsciousness is coming to an end.
So there's an element to that we see a lot, and I just want to touch on that is basically people doing the bypass, the spiritual bypass, and as they walking up, and there's a lot. We live in Sedona, and not everybody holds a light to the level that they should, and they're so what's your message to the people doing the spiritual bypass and just doing the what I call minimal, what I call shallow breaths in this area.
Okay, well, I remember, people go through one shadow integration and they think that I did it. I did it. And I'm like, oh my God. I remember my first beer. Oh, you got through one shadow integration? Okay, well, keep going. When you're on your 6th or 7th, let me know. Every single time you graduate through a different dimension, you're going to have, 2 or 3 shadow integrations to process the reality that you've gone through, the experiences that you've gone through, but how you're bringing that into balance and what you're taking with you into the next reality that's necessary. A lot of the stuff that we're taking with us is very important, heart-based, loved, our friends, our family, but there's a lot of stuff we're leaving behind in these lower dimensions. I would say 80% of the stuff we're going to be leaving here. We're only taking the brightest moments, joys, and and our loved ones with us as we ascend into the higher realm. So that's important. To always remember that you show up here with nothing, you leave with nothing other than the experiences that you make with your loved ones. That's it. Okay. What was the rest of the question, Tim?
Oh, the bypass,
So here's the thing about the spiritual bypass. So the deal is that it's cute in the beginning and it's a phase. Waking up, then you go into the conspiracy theory thing. You got to know what's going on. You're very curious. Then you go more into the spiritual, esoteric, layers, maybe 2, 3 years after you first woke up. Then eventually you go through the spiritual stuff. Then you start asking some very personal questions about yourself. Then you start to know thyself. What are you doing in dream time? What does your dimensional aspects do? What are your versions look like? You start breaking down your oversoul. Okay. Once you start chewing into your, really understanding who you really are, why you came here, your kind of your purpose and what you're here to experience and learn, then you kind of go into that's almost like you graduated high school. Now you're checking into college. Sedona is college. The problem with Sedona is the frequency and energy is very sharp here. You guys well know that. Most people don't make it. 88% fail ratio for people moving to Sedona. 88% of the people do not make it 2 years in Sedona. So that's just because you can't run from your shadow here. There's spotlights on you, not so much from what it looks like in the physical. It's very like, the restaurants close at 9, there's not much of a nightlife at all. We don't even have a bowling alley. I mean, it's really not a place to party, lady. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You got Mooney's, you got one bar. It's just so average. No, just so average. But what I'm trying to say is that the dimensional inner work that you guys do, that's really what Sedona is about, because there are some very powerful planetary guardians that oversee the space. And it is also like, kind of like how it is on the dark side of the moon, where it's like, like on the moon, it's like an international space station, meaning that no one can fight there. It's like sovereign space. You're not allowed to fight there. In Sedona, they allow a lot of beings in here. We're not supposed to fight with one another, so that each different tribe, each different energy signature, each different group can learn together. Okay. Now, and if you violate that, they will toss you out. I mean, if you ever talk to people that lived in Sedona, ask them how many people have gotten tossed out of Sedona or get barbecued and popped out of here. That's a real thing. I would say that's 99% of the. Tell anyone now, I lived in Sedona. How long did you last? 6 months. What happened? I couldn't sleep. I had to get out of there. What I'm trying to say is that it's a frequency thing. If you're in service and you're in that collegiate type experience, Sedona will support you and love you, but Sedona does not have any room for bullshit, especially right now, because there's so many people waking up. It's almost like every single space in this college campus is reserved for those that actually want to wake up and change the world or wake up within their own right. Does that make sense? It's not a free for all out here. So
absolutely,
that's all I can say about it.
Good. So let's get back to
So
the bridge.
Coming back to the bridge, and obviously we have some. Well, fear can hide the wisdom being based information. So I totally agree. From Apple, yeah. So coming back to sort of your key message on the bridge, right? I actually had a two-part question. You sort of answered the second half, but I wanted to go back to obviously the bridge is to bridge dimensions, and obviously bridge us into a new place. And the other metaphor is we're landing on the bridge and we're coming into Dallas. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together. So yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, here's the thing. I want to give everyone the opportunity that I didn't have. I know Tim and Julie feel the same way. I mean, imagine Tim and Julie, imagine we had us helping us a decade ago or 15 years ago. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being like, hey, bro, don't do that, do this? There was no one telling us shit. Okay. I mean, and even the people that were like big deal were like compromised. We just didn't know. We're like, okay, we'll do what you tell us. Now there's so many people awake and all of our beautiful family out there across the earth that's going to watch this video, especially my people. Dude, they're switched on. Their integrity first. No bullshit. You can't bullshit my friends. They're very like on it. They're very highly studied people, highly intelligent people. So I think the bridge is going to be a great time for all of us to get together, hang out, give each other a hug, express what we want to create for the future, share our wisdom, share our great minds, and really just kind of guide the population. I mean, not to mention, we're going to record everything for posterity, and it's going to be very professional. The hotel is very professional. I don't know if you guys have even seen the thing. We're in a brand new hotel in like Frisco, 20 minutes from Dallas. It is where like the Dallas Cowboys have their company meetings. This whole thing is 5-star we're walking into, and we had some very beautiful light workers assist us with the production stuff to make sure that we have our vested interests and our family. And I wanted to bring everyone with us into this space. The tickets are so well priced, it's nuts.
Yeah.
These tickets are worth $800 a piece. I don't think people realize that. How when I say $300 or with the coupon, I'm basically giving you guys the venue itself is very expensive. I did this for you guys to have a space to come together and just create great memories with one another and listen to some very talented, gifted people. I know Tim and Julie are going to be there. They're going to have a table there. There's going to be another film crew there. There's going to be in one of the breakout rooms. I'm sure Tim and Julie will be a part of that. And Julie, I might have you as on the female panel. I think Commander Julie should be on the female panel on Sunday. Tim, I love you. We'll see. She's pretty, look, Julie, you're in. Tim, hey, we love you, guy. We're gonna do our best. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're gonna be there together. And here's the whole thing. This is a team hug for the days to come. This is not listen, we do these things here at Team Light. And as a group and as a family, I've been out here for 15 years. I got 15 years of receipts, been doing conferences for about 10 years. We only want to create the best experience for everybody. We really want everyone to learn and, really love on one another in the sense of like getting stronger together. That's what I want. Like, what do you ask the bridges? I want people to wake up at an accelerated rate, move around all the potholes and narratives that slow people down for decades, move around the fears and false narratives, and get everyone to this faster speed of ascension together. And that's what I want to do. And that's what we're going to do. That's really what it is.
And can you just give the coordinates? Obviously, date and time. And is anybody? You have you have a very cool list of speakers at the event. Is there anything you want to highlight about why you picked that group? And we felt that okay. It's teamlightstore.com, just like on my deal. It's going to forward you over to the Shopify. That specific group that we have, we do Rise of the Guardians is very successful. We did it about 3 or 4 months ago in Sedona. That's more for our spiritual, esoteric Sedona family. This is more of a different, because we're going to be dealing with different types of people in the population that maybe are not as well studied in some of these subjects. And as you well know, this takes years to unravel. You don't just wake up and you're like, I get it. It's like learning a language. You have to do a lot of research and deep diving, and you have to really ask some difficult questions and really, stick with it. So I think that this is going to have a more of a mass for the masses. You know what I mean? More of like a general thing for the masses.
and to really speak to them about some of the things that are very relevant. I mean, the speakers there are awesome, and there's a lot of them. You guys got to check it out. There's a lot of content at Unite the Collective on YouTube. Teamlight.com also has all of the connections, and Team Light Guardians on Instagram. You guys can click on my link tree there, and then you can see all the connections and all the stuff we got going on.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And of course, you cannot miss the Galaxy Ball.
Saturday night, October 18th. Yeah, so it's at October 17th through the 19th, Dallas, Texas, right? And then Galaxy Balls on the 18th. We have DJ. I'm flying in David Palmer and another DJ. It's gonna go off. I mean, we spent $15,000 on speakers. I mean, I don't. It's gonna go off. I mean, I hope they don't. I hope the hotel doesn't get like, what's going on like this. I'm like, I bought the most expensive woofers you could buy, and they weigh 200 pounds. That's what's going on. Oh yeah, these things are 200 pounds. It's in a box. I can't wait to show you. Yeah, I didn't know what I was ordering. I order these things like, my buddy talked me into it. He's like a sound engineer. I clicked the button with my thumb. I'm like, cool, bro. This thing shows up in my garage. The guy's wheeling it in on a flat. It's like a delivery truck. I go, what's that? And he goes, I don't know. It says JBL. I'm like, what do you mean? I go, oh no, that's not the woofer. He's like, yeah, it's real heavy, man. It's like 200 pounds. It's just the woofer is 200 pounds. Like I was like, great. Now I got to rent a cargo van just to transport this shit from Sedona. No, you guys, my vested interest is for everyone to have the best time possible. And that's really what this is. And if you guys are just meeting me for the first time, it's probably because Facebook and YouTube has been hiding me since I woke up in 2009. If you guys don't know that, I've been contacted by them. I've been on cooldown since 2012. Facts. Okay. So I'm just trying to let you guys know there's a reason why certain people and narratives kind of slide through, because you're not a threat to the Matrix. The people that are threats to the Matrix that want to wake their brothers and sisters up and collapse this shit and live in peace, freedom, and sovereignty, those are the people that are shadow banned, not the other way around. So it's got to be crystal clear with that. You speak truth, just watch. So
yeah. And at full days, guys, this is not, come at 5 and leave at 3. This is full on.
Oh yeah,
full days. So
the schedule is on if you go to teamlightstore.com, click on events. And I can't put that in the comments, Tim. Maybe you can.
Yeah, we'll good.
Yeah. So what you do is you click on events. The full schedule is there on the pictures. You can see all of the full schedule. It is nonstop for 3 days. It starts at Friday at 5 and it's nonstop till, I don't know, Sunday at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot. There is coupon codes there for the Hyatt. I believe in the description you click on the events page, there's a special button to book your hotel rooms. We have a special deal with the Hyatt Regency for our people. So
yeah, and those of our tribe who's following, if you can't find the other stuff, you can always go to Quantum Alchemy. We've got coupons. We got a paid setup where you can click through, and you'll be passed on to Rion, just a referral. So
come hang on, bro. Hang out, dude. For all the people watching this, come hang out. Like I don't know what you're doing. If you're retired or something, there's nothing better you're going to be doing that weekend than being with us. It doesn't exist. I'm trying to tell you. You guys are going to be in shock, going, I cannot believe how awesome this is. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, come. If you've never been to one of our conferences, Tim and Julie can tell you, it's off the charts. We really care about our family. And all of our events feel like a big family deal. I like to make sure everyone has a really good time. So
yeah, and the speakers we've experienced over the years with you all have something, a nugget you walk away from, and it's more than just entertainment, right? It is you go, wow, I wish I'd known that a few years ago, or fuck, I need to go research that. Whatever they said, I need to go check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
As you know, Rion, we both Julie and myself have had other jobs for many years, right? And we've lived in Sedona quietly doing our other stuff, and you know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Because we lived across the street from you in a paranormal house where we got our lessons taught to us.
Yeah. All that stuff from Tim in his early 20s just kind of came back and bit you on the butt, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
This is a
Hey, me and you both, Tim. Me and you both.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to my regression age of 33. Just
I love. Okay. I'm going. The reason why I want to go 21, 22 is just because I want to play stupid. I just want to be like, I just want to play stupid. I'm like, I was gonna be like, I don't know, bro. Like, that's crazy. No way. Like, I'm gonna go like Bill and Ted's Ultimate Adventure, like on this shit. But like being like, that's why, I'm gonna go in full Rodney Dangerfield and back to school. That's just my thing. Um, I want to enjoy what it's like to being a kid. I grew up way too fast in Southern California. By 19 years old, I was already, in that industry, film, working, acting, all that stuff. So I feel like I grew up way too fast and I never really got to feel what it was like to be a kid. So I think if you put us in an age reversal thing, I just want to go back to being a kid. Tim, me and you go back to school and like, I don't know. I just want to be on campus in like Yale or Stanford with like a sweater. Like we're going to check in the first. I just want to do weird shit. I don't even care. It's like money won't even be a thing. I just want to be like, oh, cool. So this is what it's like when the leaves change, wherever the freak Stanford is. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I want to experience things that I guess, I never really got a chance to. And I know it sounds really silly, but I think in this game, if it's all about experiencing things that you want to experience right on this earth, there's also other countries I'd like to experience. I want to go hang out in Spain for a while. I want to go hang out in Italy for a while. I want to go hang out in Australia for a while, New Zealand for a while. I need time, man. I don't know why they have this whole planet on fast forward. But when some of this technology comes out, I think a lot of us with the right budgets and the right RVRI, whatever you want to call this, proper investments. I feel like Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights. He goes, well, with my high annual income, I could easily be 120, 140 years old. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is with our high annual income, with some of us in some of this technology, especially to be released in the next 5 to 10 years, I think it might give people a spark of like, go, really? That could happen? Hey, man, 10 years, all the scientists at Harvard are already saying it. If you last another 10 years on this planet, they will have things for us to anti-age you. Just in the civilian population, whatever that may be. And mine doesn't have to specifically be a med bed. But what I'm trying to say is that we deserve to have this time that was stolen from us and this experience that was stolen from us. They stole our experience. The reason why in 1990s, when you remember Total Recall came out, when they're talking about Mars and shit, okay? That was a timeline, okay? There was a timeline where we were going to have disclosure right around 2001. And what did they do? 9/11. There was a timeline. We've missed 2 or 3 timelines, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't believe me, they remade Total Recall. There's a new one. Do you know what it's about? No more Mars. No more anything. You take an elevator from the surface down to the other world, and then you work all day and you come home. No Quato, no Mars. So these guys are done. I'm just trying to say we're taking the reins back. I love you guys. If you guys want to come out to the bridge, you guys are going to have a blast. Take advantage of all the coupons. A Day of Being is a coupon code you guys can use as well. And I just love you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think that's me, ladies and gents.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Love
We
you.
greatly appreciate you all the years and forever forward and all the history we've had together.
Hey, we're going to party. I hope you guys have your party outfits for the Galaxy Ball. You can have
Oh my God. I need
Julie, make sure he dresses up. You know what I mean? Make sure he's ready to go.
This is what he's gonna be wearing. He's gonna be wearing his.
I'm wearing my Mandalorian.
Listen, you could wear the Mandalorian shirt, just put on a blazer that's like shiny. And you're good.
In competition with this.
I need to know who does your wardrobe. Maybe it's Shala.
I'm going to send you. I'll send you some links. I'm sending you.
Yes, yeah, it's all good. We got time to do it. Thank you so much from the bottom of both of our hearts for this, and all of you who listening. Absolutely need to go check out the event, the Light Store. Thank you, sir, and we will see you on the flip side And the next time we see you, we want to do a couples journey in this process of the energy
Conversation.
on this conversation.
Something
Honest conversations. I like it.
Next time.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Later,
Peace
guys.
out.
Peace.
Peace.